This beast of a machine has powered through battlefields, built towering structures, and reshaped the very landscape beneath our feet. From digging trenches in World War II to clearing the way for the most iconic landmarks like the Hoover Dam and the Golden Gate Bridge, bulldozers have been at the forefront of some of the most insane feats of human achievement. In the early days of earth moving, everything was done by hand. Think of trying to push piles of dirt, rocks, and debris using nothing but shovels, pickaxes, and sheer human effort. It was exhausting, slow, and painfully inefficient. If a hole needed to be filled or land needed to be leveled, it required teams of workers working for days, if not weeks, to get the job done. And let's be honest, humans aren't designed to move mountains or even piles of dirt with just their muscles. It became clear pretty quickly that there had to be a better way. By the late 19th century, as the world entered a period of industrial expansion, the demand for more efficient solutions to move Earth was growing rapidly. People needed to build things faster. Railroads were expanding, cities were growing, and massive construction projects were on the horizon. The agricultural sector, in particular, was desperate for something that could help farmers clear and level fields without draining every ounce of their energy. That is when the first attempts to mechanize earth moving came into play. As early as the late 1800s, inventors started experimenting with various devices to make the process easier and faster. At the time, these were basic contraptions that barely resembled what we think of as modern machinery. Some of the earliest machines involved simple beams and blades pulled by horses, but even these made a noticeable difference. These rudimentary machines could push dirt forward, sparing workers from doing everything by hand. However, these attempts were only the beginning, as they still relied on animal power and had some serious limitations. Which brings us to Thanksgiving in 1904. A day when most people were enjoying a big feast, Benjamin Holt was out testing an invention that would change the world of earth moving forever. Holt, who was already a successful manufacturer of grain harvesters, had a vision of something much bigger. He wanted to create a machine that could not only tackle tough farming tasks, but also move earth in ways that had never been done before. On that chilly November day, he tested his new machine on a farm near Stockton, California. And what he did was more than just a simple experiment, it was a revolution. Holt's machine wasn't just another tractor. It was designed to move over land that was too soft for regular tractors to handle, and it could push dirt and rocks with much greater ease than anything before it. The key to his invention was the track drive system, a continuous loop of metal treads that allowed the machine to move smoothly over uneven or soft terrain. This was groundbreaking because, up until that point, tractors and other machines had a tough time operating in muddy or sandy areas. The invention of this earth-moving machine not only helped farmers, but also opened up new possibilities for construction and military use. Before long, Holt's idea inspired the development of machines that could handle the massive construction projects that were on the horizon, and even help soldiers during wartime. But the real game changer came when Holt's machine got an upgrade to diesel power. The switch from steam to diesel traction was revolutionary. Diesel engines provided more power and efficiency, allowing machines to be even bigger and stronger. This was a huge leap forward, especially when it came to working on challenging terrains like hillsides or muddy fields. Suddenly, these machines weren't just for farming anymore. They became essential for major construction projects and even military operations. In fact, the military saw the potential almost immediately, using these machines to move heavy artillery and build roads during World War I. Holt's invention was the spark that ignited a diesel-powered revolution. The ability to power through tough landscapes meant that construction teams could take on bigger and more ambitious projects. Roads, dams, bridges, all of these became easier to build with these powerful machines. And in the military, the same technology was soon applied to the development of tanks, changing the way that wars were fought. During World War I, something remarkable happened that forever changed how battles were fought, and it had everything to do with Benjamin Holt's track drive technology. You see, before the war, Holt had been working on machines to help farmers plow their fields more efficiently. But when the war broke out, it quickly became apparent that his track drive system was useful for more than just agriculture. The technology allowed heavy machinery to move over soft, muddy terrain that would have otherwise bogged down traditional vehicles. This was crucial on the battlefields of Europe, where rain and constant shelling turned the ground into a swampy mess. The military saw an opportunity to adapt Holt's invention for warfare, and that is how the first tanks were born. These tanks, inspired by Holt's tracked machines, could crush barbed wire, cross trenches, and keep moving even in the worst of battlefield conditions. They became a big needle mover in World War I, helping to end the static trench warfare that had caused so many stalemates. Holt's contribution to the war effort was massive, not just because of the tanks, but because his technology proved that machines could perform in extreme conditions, something that would later be critical in the development of bulldozers. The lessons learned from these muddy, war-torn battlefields could carry over into peacetime construction, where the demand for durable, powerful earth-moving machines only grew.
Hey, I'm popping in really quick. My name is William. I run the channel here at Extreme Force. I also run a premium merino wool sock brand for trade workers called Camel City Mill. Now, we offer 3 lengths. These socks are perfect. We have the boot cut, the crew, and the ankle. These socks are perfect if you struggle with sweaty feet, if you're on your feet for 12, 14 hours a day, if you work in the trades, anything where any hard work is necessary, then you need our socks. And there are 3 main reasons why. Reason number 1 is if you struggle with sweaty, stinky feet, using a merino wool sock, that's gonna help you tremendously. Number 2, we don't use any merino wool. We use a special proprietary yarn called Ironside merino wool. The way we kind of spin that together, it makes our socks twice as durable compared to regular merino wool. Here's an example where I'm picking up a 15-pound kettlebell with a single thread of our Ironside merino wool. Not only that, but we also do double-plated nylon fortification in the toe and in the heel. This makes our socks so durable that we offer a 10-year durability guarantee. So that means if you get a hole in your socks within the first 10 years, no joke, you can send them back to us. We'll give you a brand new pair completely free. The third thing you're gonna love about these socks is that they are 100% USA made. So our factory is in North Carolina, the wool's in North Carolina. We're a North Carolina company. We're really proud about that. North Carolina is the hosiery sock capital of the United States. We're right there, we're epicenter. So if you like American-made products, if you like an American-made pair of socks, it has a 10-year durability guarantee that will give you dry, comfortable feet, even if you're working a 14-hour shift in 100-degree weather. Make that feel like easy mode. If you want a pair of these socks right now, use the link down in the description below. We'll hook you up. Thank you again for watching Extreme Force. Now let's get back to the video.
Fast forward a few years to 1923, and we have James Cummings and J. Earl McLeod, 2 Kansas farmers who unknowingly built on the foundation that Holt had laid. These 2 men were looking for a way to make farming even more efficient, and they came up with a brilliant idea: mounting a scraper blade onto a tractor. Now, this might sound simple now, but back then, it was groundbreaking. Their invention allowed tractors to not just pull heavy loads, but also push earth and dirt out of the way with precision. In 1925, Cummings and McLeod received a patent for their design, which officially marked the birth of the bulldozer as we know it today. Now, the patent described a forward-mounted blade on a tractor that could be manipulated by pivoting arms, allowing it to push material with greater control. This was the first machine that truly resembled what we now call a bulldozer. It had the strength and versatility needed to move large amounts of earth quickly, and it wasn't long before these machines became essential for construction projects around the world. Benjamin Holt, with his innovative track drive tractors, and C.L. Best, whose company was also pushing the boundaries of tractor technology, had been fierce rivals. Both men were pioneers in their own right, but they realized that by joining forces, they could achieve far more than they could alone. So in 1925, Holt Manufacturing Company and Best Tractor Company merged, and Caterpillar was born. This merger marked the beginning of a bulldozer empire. Caterpillar quickly became the go-to name for durable, reliable machines capable of tackling the toughest of jobs. It wasn't just farmers who benefited. Construction crews, military units, and infrastructure developers all saw the potential in these powerful machines. Caterpillar's early success wasn't just about building bigger tractors. It was about creating machines that could perform in extreme conditions, whether that meant plowing through muddy fields, constructing roads in the desert, or clearing rubble after a disaster. As Caterpillar rose to the top, other companies took notice. Komatsu, a Japanese company, soon became a major player in the bulldozer industry, giving Caterpillar serious competition on a global scale. John Deere, known for its agricultural equipment, also entered the bulldozer market, expanding its reputation beyond farming. These companies, along with others like JCB and Case, helped push the bulldozer industry forward, with each manufacturer striving to build bigger, better, and more efficient machines. What started as a niche market for specialized equipment turned into a global industry, with bulldozers being used on every continent for projects of all sizes. One of the most impressive acts of bulldozers and their contribution to some of the most iconic infrastructure projects in history. Without bulldozers, projects like the Hoover Dam, the Golden Gate Bridge, and the construction of the U.S. interstate highway system would have been far more difficult, if not impossible. These massive machines were essential in moving huge amounts of earth, leveling terrain, and clearing the way for roads, bridges, and dams. Bulldozers helped shape modern cities, allowing for rapid development during a time when infrastructure was expanding at an unprecedented pace. By the 1940s and 1950s, bulldozer technology had taken another leap forward. One of the biggest advances was the introduction of hydraulic cylinders to control the blade. Before this, bulldozer blades were typically controlled by cables and winches, which required more manual effort and weren't as precise. With hydraulics, operators could move the blade with greater ease and accuracy, allowing for more intricate work on construction sites. These new machines were more powerful, more flexible, and better suited to the growing demands of large-scale projects. This was also the time when bulldozers became more sophisticated in terms of design and functionality. They were no longer just brute force machines. They became versatile tools that could be fine-tuned for specific tasks, whether that was grading a road, clearing debris, or shaping the landscape for a new dam. The improvements in bulldozer technology reflected the increasing complexity of the world's infrastructure needs, and companies like Caterpillar, Komatsu, and John Deere rose to the challenge, creating machines that could handle whatever was thrown their way. During World War II, bulldozers became an unexpected but essential tool in the fight. These machines, originally designed for farming and construction, found themselves right in the thick of battle, helping soldiers do the kind of heavy lifting that no amount of manpower alone could accomplish. From building roads and airstrips to clearing debris in bombed-out cities, bulldozers were everywhere during the war, silently shaping the battlefield in ways that we often overlook. One of the most famous examples of bulldozers in action was during the Normandy landings in 1944. When the Allies stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day, bulldozers were among the first pieces of equipment to hit the shore. They were used to clear debris, create access roads for advancing troops, and even build makeshift defenses. Without these machines, it would have been nearly impossible to move men and supplies through the rough terrain and chaos of the landing zones. The bulldozers cleared paths for tanks, trucks, and other vehicles, ensuring that the soldiers could keep moving forward. They became a symbol of resilience, clearing the way for the liberation of Europe. Beyond the beaches of Normandy, bulldozers played a crucial role in countless other military operations. They were used to build airstrips in remote areas, allowing planes to land and take off in places that would have otherwise been inaccessible. These airstrips were vital for delivering supplies and reinforcements, keeping the war effort going in areas where traditional construction equipment couldn't be used. In bombed-out cities, bulldozers were tasked with clearing rubble to keep supply lines open and ensure that troops could move quickly through devastated urban areas. Whether it was pushing debris off of roads or leveling land for makeshift bases, bulldozers proved themselves to be indispensable in the war effort. When the war finally ended, bulldozers didn't just roll away into the sunset. They were critical in the post-war recovery efforts, particularly in Europe, where cities had been reduced to rubble by years of bombing. These machines were used to clear debris from streets and neighborhoods, making way for the rebuilding of homes, roads, and factories. Entire cities needed to be reconstructed, and bulldozers were at the forefront of that massive task. Their ability to move huge amounts of debris in a short time allowed for a faster recovery, helping Europe get back on its feet after years of destruction. Bulldozers didn't just rebuild cities, they helped shape the new infrastructure of post-war Europe. Roads were widened, modern highways were constructed, and new urban planning efforts took place, all made possible by these powerful machines. The speed and efficiency of bulldozers allowed engineers to create a more modern, interconnected Europe, one that could better handle the challenges of the 20th century. The evolution of bulldozers didn't stop with their incredible contributions during wars and construction projects. As technology advanced, so did these machines, becoming more precise, powerful, and efficient. One of the most significant breakthroughs in bulldozer technology was the introduction of hydraulic systems. Before hydraulics, controlling a bulldozer's blade was a rough process, often relying on cables and manual levers. It wasn't very precise, and the operators had limited control over how they moved dirt or debris. But when hydraulics came into play, everything changed. So, what are your thoughts on the mighty bulldozer? Let us know in the comments below, and we will see you in the next one.